Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to import posts to WordPress via WP All Import, the plugin, but while still retaining the Gutenberg blocks in your editor. I'll just quickly show you which version I'm running. I'm running the WP All Import Pro plugin, version 4.8.7, and today I'm going to create 8 new posts like this. So simple titles, some content, some Google Maps, embedded, a table of contents, relatively simple. And I've created all this data for these posts in a spreadsheet. But I'll show you how to do this while still maintaining normal Gutenberg functionality. So you don't go back to this old, ugly WordPress editor, but you retain the functionality of Gutenberg blocks, which makes it much easier to later improve the posts. So without further ado, let's dive into the spreadsheet, because that's where you need to prepare your data so that WordPress will recognize your imports as Gutenberg blocks. I've got all these columns here. These are the columns that I'm using to build these posts. So each paragraph, each heading, each image is a single column. And as you can see, each column is surrounded by a type of code. And this code is the code that WordPress uses to recognize Gutenberg blocks. So yeah, you can see this is just a simple paragraph, which is the opening statement is, hey, this is a Gutenberg block, and this is the closing statement for that Gutenberg block. And then right in between, it's just basic HTML. How do you know what codes to add in front of your data? In order to find out, what I do is I just go into the post editor, the Gutenberg page builder, and I just create the post the way I would want it to look. So in this case, I just have a simple paragraph and a simple image. If I then go to the upper right here and I select the code editor, then this will show me what this content looks like in Gutenberg code. So right here, you can see the opening and closing statements that will show to WordPress that, hey, this is a Gutenberg block. Without these, Gutenberg will just consider this to be a random HTML block. And then later on, it will be much more difficult to improve the content. And I do not want that. And right here, you see this image that I've just created. Now, one thing that is very important to keep in mind is that this contains double quotation marks, right here, right there. And you want to deal with that because otherwise your spreadsheet will break. It will be a big pain in the ass to keep it working. So what you need to do is you need to copy the blocks that you want to import and just transfer them to a notepad. I've just pasted this right over here in this empty notepad. You need to replace the double quotation marks with single quotation marks. Just select everything and do a replace and place the double quotation marks with a single quotation marks. And if you then use this, so I'll just copy this. If you use this to build out your spreadsheet, with single quotation marks everywhere, then that will be much better because then you can use the double quotation marks to interject your dynamic cell references or your formulas, as I've done right here. If you wouldn't have changed these single quotation marks, then you would have ended up with double quotation marks here, which would have ruined your formula. So yeah, do make sure that before you copy and paste the Gutenberg code into your spreadsheet, that you first get rid of all the double quotation marks. So once you've done that, I've got another tip, and that is to join all your columns into a single column. You can see here, I've got lots of columns here to build this dynamically created post. I've joined them all together into a single column using the join formula. What this formula needs is a delimiter and all the columns that you want to join together. And what I've used as a delimiter is the character 10, which is a line break. So basically an enter on your keyboard. And that makes sure that everything is separated by line breaks. So I can show you right here. If I copy this cell, which is basically the entire content of a single post, and if I paste that into this notepad again, you can see that right here, paragraph is placed on a new line, and this list item is also placed on a new line, which makes it easier for WordPress to recognize this as a Gutenberg block. So yeah, that's all you need to do basically to get Gutenberg blocks imported into WordPress through WP All Import. So if I download this sheet as a comma separated values file, and I then go into WordPress and create a new import, then after 2 minutes, I'll have 8 new posts on my WordPress site, all while still having Gutenberg blocks, which just makes it much easier to later improve those posts. So here, this is the file that I've just exported. That's great. And let's just upload. Each new item should be a post. That's all correct. That's all there. Continue to step 3. Right here, I'm just going to use a template that I've created prior to this video. It's the volume 1 template that I've created. It'll basically have pre-filled all the fields, so I don't have to manually do that again. Good. And then I'll just be finalizing the import. Yep. Continue and run. Great. So yeah, that's it. Right now I've got 8 posts created through a spreadsheet. I've created a post about Seattle to Grand Canyon National Park with the title, created with formulas, a road trip from Seattle to Grand Canyon National Park with 7 great stops with maps. That's pretty cool that I'm able to add these maps. So road trip from Seattle to Grand Canyon, that's this one. Let's just quickly view it right here. And as you can see, this is all working properly. Google Maps is loading all the nice little bits that I've added through my spreadsheet, which is cool. So yeah, and the final thing that I do want to show you is that it is truly just Gutenberg blocks that are imported into WordPress. So I'm still in the code editor. So if I change back to the visual editor, then you will see that these are in fact Gutenberg blocks. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, you can see it's all working pretty nicely. So these are just 8 posts that I've created, but with this process from the spreadsheet, it's super easy for me to replicate this process throughout an entire category of content. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions or any comments, yeah, do leave them down below. I'll be happy to help you figure this out for yourself. If you want more videos like this, do like this video, do subscribe, and yeah, just stick around, okay? All right, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.